Coming up on this episode of Up for Debate, we're talking weird interview questions. How many times does this happen to you? You go in for an interview or a discussion and ask you those weird personality questions where they try and find out some odd fact about you. Well, we're going to talk about it and come up with our own fun answers with special guest Phil Lopez. It's going to be an excellent episode. We hope you stick around because Up for Debate is going to start for you right now. This is Up for Debate, episode number 58, recorded August 18th, 2016. Let me ask you a question. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Up for Debate, the show that dares to ask the tough and equally weird questions. I'm Shaun Jennings, joined as always by the co-host with the most, Mr. Matt Mariani. And Matt, we have a heck of a surprise on this episode, a sort of first for us.
Really?
Yes.
Would that be our special guest?
Oh, well, you know, our first ever kind of special guest. Now, we had Colby on when I took him on in trivia, but he was really more of a contestant than a guest. No, our first ever actual guest, ladies and gentlemen, from coming to us from roughly the nation's capital, it is Phil.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
What's up, Phil? You want to tell the folks at home a little about yourself?
My name's Phil. I live in Washington, D.C. now, but I used to live in Vietnam, and I went to school with these two guys.
Yeah.
So Phil, you got to say, were we the best roommates you ever had or the greatest roommates you ever had?
To be fair, I've only lived with you for all 4 years, so not much comparison.
I'll take it.
Yeah, it was acceptable.
Acceptable. I like to be acceptable.
A glowing endorsement.
Yep.
Indeed.
That's fantastic. Well, Phil, I have been dying to have you on the show, and it was inconvenient because you were out of the country. And now that you're back, I'm thrilled, and I know Matt is thrilled that you're here. And I could try to explain tonight's topic, but I don't think I could do it justice in any way, shape, or form. Matt, I think this was your idea. I think you need to explain it to the folks.
Yeah. So first off, I like the title. The let me ask you a question. And asking you questions, that's what we're going to be doing on today's episode. We're going to be asking each other some wacky interview questions. Some of these I've come across, I can't say I've ever had them asked to me during an interview, though, which I think is kind of sad. I would have liked to have had a couple of these asked on an interview. I think I could have given some pretty good answers. I don't know. But I came up with 5 wacky questions. And I kind of want to delve into them. First of all, I want to know your guys' answers to them. I also want to know why you think these questions are even asked in the first place.
Now, can I ask, where did you get did you make these up, or did you Google and these are...
So the inspiration came to me with one of the questions on the list that I definitely wanted to know what people thought about. The other ones I kind of I found on lists online. One of them on Glassdoor.com. They have weirdest interview questions, like a little top 10 list, and another one on Forbes Business Insider. They have a little list on their site as well.
Good job citing your sources, Mr. Teacher.
I don't often do that, and I feel I will get fired for plagiarism. I'll get fired from this podcast if I do not. So
we'll replace you with Phil. We will.
That's right. I mean, your ratings will probably go through the roof once you.
This is the trial run.
I'm kind of hoping you don't figure that out. But yeah, so I hope you guys have some interesting answers to these questions, and feel free if you want to share any questions that you've come across, and maybe in the interview process, or that you might be looking up online right now as we speak.
And I will also mention to the currently 0, but hopefully more soon, people watching us live on Facebook. I would like to say, if you have a question or an answer to anything we discussed tonight, please comment on the Facebook post. I will be monitoring it throughout the show, and we might just talk about it. Phil didn't know. Phil, did you know we were live?
I didn't know.
Okay.
Well, Suspected.
It's no big difference. So no
It's
problem.
okay. This
Nobody
is only
watches
like the
anyway.
second or third week where we've done it too.
Yeah, it's
So
not a big
sometimes I forget too. Sometimes I come in here and I have like a big piece of cake and I'm eating the piece of cake and I'm like, you can edit this out, right, Shaun? So that I don't look like a fat ass in front of our
For the
live
record,
audience.
I don't think I've
And then
ever
Sean's
edited
like,
the
oh no,
show.
we're live.
No, I don't edit the show. This is straight to tape. This is straight to the internet. So no pressure. All right, Matt.
All right. Should I hit you with the first question? Gentlemen, thank you for coming in for this interview.
What's the position?
Thank you. You are going to be hired as the new cloud engineer at Cloud Industries. And it's not cloud computing. You're actually going to be manufacturing clouds that we're going to be putting into the sky.
Like the Beijing Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Beijing
Well,
Olympics.
and you may not know this, but Phil actually has experience being a cloud.
Oh yeah, for Halloween I was a cloud once.
So he's got a leg up on
Oh.
me in this interview.
All right. Sorry, Shaun.
This is
Looks
a
like
lot of
it's
pressure on these questions.
right there. You're going to have to answer these questions the right way. All
I'll
right.
try.
So,
Before we
first
start,
question.
do you have the accepted right answer to these questions?
No, that's
No.
kind of what I was hoping to get from asking you guys. If there are right questions and why they're the right answers.
Ooh. Okay.
If there are right answers. Well, we'll see.
Matt's the hiring manager, so he's going to decide which one of us gets the job. So it's really up to him to decide what are the right answers.
Oh, wow. What a mistake. They should never have put me in this position. So the first question, what's your favorite color?
Oh.
Now, this is an honest question that is supposedly asked at interviews. The company that was cited that asked this question, their employees this question, was Google. What's your favorite color?
Red.
Or why? See, Shaun, what would you say?
There's a why?
Yeah, well, I want to hear the reason, but I would say if you've seen any of the graphics for this show, you can tell purple is my favorite color. Well, it's more my lucky color. I don't really have a favorite color, but
Why do you think they ask what your favorite color is?
I think they want to see if you're like honest, like if you're really thinking about it to come up with like some sort of made up answer that's like, oh, I like blue because it's peaceful and blah blah blah. It's like
Interesting.
if you say it quickly, then they know like, oh, this person's real.
Okay.
those are
Maybe.
always my least favorite kinds of interview questions. The ones where you not only have to come up with an answer, but you have to come up with a reason for the answer. And that there's no, if they ask you something about a job, you're probably either right or wrong. But these kind of questions, it's like, oh, I hate answering them because I get so nervous and unsure about like, just tell me what you want from me. I don't blue, red, purple. It doesn't.
So clearly, Shaun is the type of person that overthinks these questions
Yes.
and blows the interview because of it.
I do. Well, I just try and sound. The problem is I try and come up with I overthink the answer. Because you could just say, look, I chose color X because X, Y, and Z, but I'm like, have to figure out how to like weave it back to the job. Be like, at Cloud Industries, clouds are, filled with rain, and rain is blue, and blue's my favorite color. It's like, I don't know how you work that in exactly, but that's what I assume that's why they're asking.
I suppose like if you had like a really good story, like I was in a car accident, I was dying, and then I saw a fire truck and it was red, so red's my favorite color.
It's memorable, right? You'll stand out from the other candidates.
That would be, maybe that's it. Maybe they're looking for the memorable answers. I don't know. Or maybe they're looking for honesty. Who knows?
Maybe the most honest thing to do is to just say, I don't know. Maybe that's what they're expecting people to do.
I don't know what my favorite color is.
Well,
Why don't you tell
or just say that I don't have a good reason. Be like, I just like it because I like it. Because it's a
whatever
pretty color.
your favorite color is.
This is why I don't get the job.
Yeah. So I mean, we started out with kind of a lame one there, but I just wanted to ask that
Matt?
so we get it out of the way.
Matt,
That was a good way to start.
Well, I want to hear Phil's reason though. Why did you pick red, Phil?
I don't know. It's my favorite color. Like I think that's like
Just going for the honesty, the honest approach.
Yeah, there's no say in the
Some
matter.
companies might dig it.
Okay, all right. I was just curious.
So the next question here. Now we get into like the thought play questions. All right. How many piano tuners would you say operate their own business in the city of Seattle?
Oh my God. This is the second worst kind of question. The question where they try and prove that you can make a logical assumption or guess. Where they want you to show your thought, the old math thing, show your work.
Now, granted, it doesn't have to be the city of Seattle. Usually it's interchangeable. They'll choose any random city, and they'll ask you how many piano tuners operate their own business.
Well, I know and there are a lot of variations on this type of question, too. I don't know if you were going to ask any of the other ones, but I know there's a famous one around, if you were a window washer in New York City, how long would it take you to wash every window in New York City or something like that? I know is a variation on that.
Yeah. I think this is just trying to get you to think analytically, and they're kind of hitting you.
It doesn't matter that you're right.
An unexpected question.
Yeah, it just shows that you can do the math and logically work through the steps to come up with this. So I will let.
Now, this question was asked by the financial department at Facebook. So maybe they're asking you to be, like an analytical finance person.
Yeah, I get that. I think that makes sense. I'm curious to hear what my esteemed colleague's answer is.
He's Googling it. I hear him typing. He's looking it up on Google.
Well, actually, I did Google, and there are many, many turnips for Seattle. But I mean, I would have guessed that, 1% of the nation owns a piano. Probably maybe
solid
20.
20? Yeah. How many do you think operate their own business, though? I don't know. That's where it gets.
What would they do? Outsourcing it?
I mean, maybe they all work for one business. Maybe there's just one piano.
Like Sleepy's for pianos.
Piano tuning.
You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish.
Hey, great REO Speedwagon album. So, thinking about this, right? A piano tuner. How many pianos do you think a piano tuner could tune in a day? Assuming the piano tuner comes to your home, right? Because you wouldn't probably bring a piano to him.
No, I don't think you're bringing the piano to him.
No, so assuming they travel door to door, maybe you could say 4 pianos tuned a day. I don't know how long it takes to tune a piano. We'll say best case
factor
4.
Like a lunch break for like an hour.
Sure, I think
piano tuners like to go on long lunch break.
It's not hugely crazy, I think, to suggest that, right? So then that would be 4 a day times 365. That's 1,460 appointments a year. Okay? How many times do you tune a piano in a year? Once?
Yeah. Some people, if they're like serious piano people, it's every 6 months, I think.
All right, so let's say 50% of the people do it twice a year and the other 50% do it once a year. So that's roughly 2,100 pianos tuned per year for one individual. Right? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I know it's lagging, and I don't fully understand what the problem is.
I think it.
Because Matt, we lost Phil because we had this problem last week, Matt. Yeah, blame.
I know. That's why I assumed it was me.
I also
because ever since I came here, my internet's been kind of laggy.
Well, what speed do you get? Have you measured it?
5G. Oh, have I measured it? No, I have
not. Go in your browser and go to fast.com. FAST.com.
Fast.com.
Yes, it's catchy. And then
I like that. Fast.com.
It's a good URL. I wish I had thought of that.
Have you seen the commercials for finallyfast.com?
No, what is that?
Oh, it gets stuck in your head. They're like really cheesy, almost like 90s commercials where they're like, it's like a guy on a computer in like a library And he's like, "Oh man, my internet connection's so slow." And a guy comes over and he's like, "You should use finallyfast.com." And then they go on finallyfast.com, they do it, they run the whole ad pitch, and then at the end it goes, "My computer's fast. Finally, finallyfast.com."
Yes. I love that.
That's so bad.
That could be a future episode maybe we should do. Really, really catchy commercials. Because we've
Powered by
that.
Netflix.
Yes, we've never done one on commercials. Matt, what speed did you end up getting?
4.2.
Oh, that's not very good. That's not good. Is that what you're paying for? Do you know what you're paying to get? Because your ISP should tell you. Phil, are you there?
I think I'm here.
All right, we can hear you. If
that is not. I'm paying to get 10, I think.
Yeah, I was about to say no one pays to get 5, so you should.
No, pretty sure.
Now, are you hardwired in or are you wireless?
No, I'm on my laptop, so this is wireless.
Are you using the router that they gave you with the ISP, or do you have your own?
No, I'm using the one they gave me.
Okay.
This doesn't happen on my desktop. Like, my desktop is normal. The internet I get on my TV, like my smart TV, is normal. It's just the laptop. I think it's just because the laptop's really old.
Yeah.
It's very old.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like 6 or 7 years
Wait,
old.
did you test the speed on the laptop or on your desktop?
On the laptop.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll have to troubleshoot this when we're not, doing the show.
For next week's show, I'll get a webcam between now and then. That should fix the problem.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Okay. Hey, all right, we're back. Where were we?
No, we're back. Where's Phil?
No, he's still there. Right, Phil?
I can't see him.
No, I know, but we might have to keep it that way so it works. Phil, you there? Phil, can you hear us?
Phil.
We can hear you. Hello?
I can hear you. My Comcast keeps timing out. I don't know why.
Oh.
It's
Wow.
been like this all day. Comcast's so great.
Why did you get Comcast?
I don't have a choice.
You can't get Verizon?
They have a monopoly. No, they have a monopoly. They're literally the worst company I've ever dealt with in my life. I've only had to speak with them 3 times, and they were horrible each time.
Are we talking about Comcast or Verizon?
Every time. They keep calling me Bill. They don't know my name, and I keep telling them my name's Phil. And they're like, okay, Bill.
That sounds like they're doing it on purpose just to be super rude. That's not very nice.
Speed test on that.
Yeah, that's another good one to try.
Wow.
Phil, can you hear us?
I think we're done talking about piano tuners.
Well, we might be done talking altogether if we can't get a connection.
We should be talking about internet tuners instead.
Okay, I don't think this is going to work. My internet's just...
All right. Phil, if you can still hear us, I think we're going to hang up on you, which isn't very nice. But
how about what if we just recently, has he restarted Skype?
No, it's his internet connection. I don't think it's Skype. Because he said he's been doing it all day. Yeah, he hung up. Let me ping him here. Hang on. I'm going to try multitasking and fail.
Multitasking.
So I'll just tell him, no worries. We'll have you on another time. Big thanks. Okay. All right.
Okay.
If there is time to plug anything at the end, he says, plug how bad Comcast is. Now, what do you... I'm having fun talking about random shit. So what ISP do you have?
10, I think.
No. Who's your provider, the company?
Oh, you're asking me the company. I
Yes.
thought you were asking me about the speed. The company's Verizon.
Fios?
Fios, yes.
And you what? I didn't even know Fios went that slow.
I'm not sure what you're asking.
No, Fios is fiber. It shouldn't. I had Fios when I lived in Poughkeepsie. I'm surprised that
Oh, you're not sure when it was that slow when it was 4.2?
No, no, no. I'm just saying I didn't even realize you could pay them to provide internet to you at that slow of a rate. Even at 10. I mean, I had like the base package and I had 25. But maybe it's different in Virginia.
Perhaps.
Well, anyway.
Is there a way?
Well, yeah, you'd have to look at your bill and their website. I'll leave
Maybe
it.
I'm getting confused with the devices. Maybe it can hold up to 10 devices.
No, I don't think that's right. But that's okay. We'll worry about this some other time. But yes, we do need to troubleshoot this because it's not working great. But you say it's fine on your. You should run a speed test on your desktop and see how fast it is.
Yeah, I can do that now. Actually,
Well, no, hey, no worries when you get to it. But don't if you think of it, that'd be good to know if it's just your laptop. Anyway, where were we? Once again, off topic as usual.
All right, so we covered the tuning question. Now let's talk about. Whoa. Oh, okay. Never mind. Shaun Jennings. Since you're now the only candidate left in the job pool. I'm not sure why we are continuing the interview, but we're going to ask you these questions just to make sure you can produce clouds at a safe and reliable rate. Our next question for you today, if you could be any type of fruit, which type of fruit would you be?
And I've heard this question with vegetables as well. I'm trying to think of which would be harder to answer, the fruit or the vegetable. All right, if I had to be a fruit, what kind of fruit would I be? I would be a blueberry.
Okay. Interesting.
I bet you didn't expect that.
Not really. Any idea why you went with a blueberry? This is strictly off the record. By the way.
Well, well, because here at Cloud Industries, I would say that I think the blueberry, as a blueberry, I feel blueberries are unique in nature. A, because there are very few things naturally in nature that are blue. By the way, it's a very unnatural color. I believe blueberries pack a lot of fantastic things in a very small package and are surprising in that fact. And I feel the blueberry is a utility player. I feel like a blueberry can be used in a lot of different situations, not just pop them in your mouth and eat them. I think you can do a lot with a blueberry. It's really a plug-and-play fruit. And that's why I'd be great for this job.
Well, now that's pretty good. I think that's a pretty solid answer right there. I often have trouble with this one because I like to say I would probably be like an apple, but for the reason of being or more like an orange, really, like a hard exterior, but like a soft and juicy interior.
Well, at that point, then you should almost be a pineapple.
That's pretty good.
And pineapples are fun and festive.
Prickly, but they're also prickly on the outside. I don't know if you want to be prickly. You want to be solid to show that you can take criticism and stuff.
So let me ask you, what would be the worst answer to this question? What answer could you give?
I would probably say the worst answer would be a banana.
What? Why?
The banana you can just peel, and you can peel it, and then it's mushy on the inside, and you can peel right through that exterior. I think the worst answers are the ones that you can't give explanations for. You just be like, I don't know, I'd be a pineapple just because they're
Well,
cool. I
yeah.
feel
I
like
mean, I
that's
think
the
that's
worst.
true for any fruit. I would say I think the worst answer you could give would be kiwi.
Kiwis.
Because name a single redeeming fact about the kiwi? It's covered in hair. I mean, what does that say about you if you think a kiwi best represents you?
Yeah, the kiwi's not great.
No,
That's
honeydew
not
melon might be the worst answer. I am bland,
honeydew
and
melon.
people
Probably
hate when I'm around.
yes, yes. I overlooked the honeydew.
You,
It's not even the best melon. Like cantaloupe totally outshines honeydew in every sense of the word.
we had this discussion not only on the breakfast episode. I think we had it on other episodes about just the
Yes,
sheer disappointment that is honeydew melon.
honeydew melon is like, oh great, there's honeydew melon again.
What a sick joke.
It's like the one that gets invited to the parties just so you can also invite cantaloupe because cantaloupe is like, no, can I bring my cousin honeydew? And you're like, nah.
If you have
And they're
to.
like, come on, guys, he's cool. And he's really
It's
not.
always the
He's
kid
really not.
always the kid pick class in gym class. Honeydew
Yeah.
melon. Yeah, that's pretty. Now when
Honeydew's not even the one picked last. He's kind of the one picked in the middle that you just forget about. And you just pick
honeydew, when'd
because
you show up? Have you been here the whole
cantaloupe.
time? Oh, we're so mean.
Kiwi might be the one picked last in gym class.
Kiwi's
Kiwi's pretty
pretty
small.
weak.
Kiwi doesn't really even have a great taste.
No, it's useless.
It's like yeah, like almost like a filler, like kind of like how the honeydew is. Um, so you might be interested to know I just did a speed test on my desktop.
Yes.
Came out at 12.28 download speed Mbps,
Yeah.
and then 5.66
Yeah.
upload speed.
Yeah, that's plenty. That should be more than enough
Pretty,
to do this.
yeah.
So
So I would say it's the laptop. I think it's pretty safe to say. So I will invest in a webcam for next week.
yeah, well, yes.
Will be a lot smoother sailing.
I agree. So, Matt, since we don't have a guest to give an alternate view of mine, if you were a fruit, oh no, we already did the fruit. I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention. So, if you had to do a vegetable, which vegetable would you be?
Oh, okay. A little twist on it. I would say I would be I think I'd be a carrot. Carrots are orange, which is a bright and vibrant color.
Yeah, huh?
They add a lot of color to the stew that they're in, or whatever thing they're in. But they can also stand alone as individuals. They don't have to necessarily be a part of a team. They work well with a team, but they don't have to be part of a team. They're just as strong individuals as they are with the team. You can have them raw or you can have them cooked, which means they're versatile in cooking. They're also very, very pointed. They're very to the point. And that's all I got. Carrot.
That is an odd choice. I did not, and I also think it's interesting that you picked an orange as your fruit and a carrot as your vegetable.
Wow, that might say something even deeper about
Now we're
me.
doing a psychology therapy session here. Matt, what does the color
I was
orange mean
abducted
to you?
when I was young by the color orange.
Were you like attacked by an orange clown or something?
The color orange attacked me.
Traumatized. Orange is interesting, and carrots are interesting. The problem with the carrot, so let's say you're interviewing with me for the job, I would say, well, Matt, carrots, earthy vegetable, grow in the ground, surrounded by dirt. I don't know if carrots are that healthy for you. I mean, I know they're healthier than potato chips, but I don't. As far as vegetables go, I don't think they're overly healthy. I don't really know what the redeeming qualities
Carrots
of the carrot
are.
are. I don't know. I mean, again,
High in carotene, which is good
but not
for your
that
skin,
much.
for your eyes.
But not that much. You have to eat a lot of carrots, I think, before that. I
I think you're getting them confused with Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is good for your health if you eat a lot of
You
it.
know, can I say, Matt? I've never been near Chick-fil-A until I moved to Houston. And every time I get it, I think of you because you're the only one I know who loves Chick-fil-A so much. I call it the Matt Mariani Lunch of Champions. And B, goddamn, Chick-fil-A is really good. Holy shit, Chick-fil-A is good. Hot damn. And every time I get it, I'm like, it's not going to be as good as it was last time. There's no way. There's no way.
Yes.
And wouldn't you know it, hot damn.
Welcome to the South.
They also have like the nicest, most excited drive-through people.
Just everybody that works there.
Where do
I think
they
it's
find
just
them?
a requirement. Like you can't be. You have to be like kind and extremely polite to work at Chick-fil-A.
They're
for
like
you to
excited
hire.
to work there. It's crazy.
Every time you go in there, it's like strange, and you kind of almost forget you're in a fast food place because you're at your. I've never been, and no other fast food place have I ever sat down, been eating my meal, and have somebody come over, ask me how everything is, and if I need any extra sauce or napkins.
Although they do that at Whataburger. If you've ever been to a Whataburger, they do that there. So they're not the only ones. But I agree, the service is crazy. And the other thing too is like their chicken is really good. Like you could take the chicken off the bun, put it on a plate with some like mango chutney, and I'd get it in a restaurant.
I would have never known exactly.
I mean, it's like legit.
I think it's better than Applebee's. It's better than a
sure.
sit down type dinner.
I don't know where they get it, but it's
establishment.
hot damn, what a good chicken sandwich.
How about that sauce too? Right.
So good. Although I will say, have you ever been to? Now that you're in the South, I don't know if they have them in Virginia. Bojangles.
They do have Bojangles. I haven't been to one yet, but they do have within driving distance.
If there's ever a chicken sandwich I've had in my life that gives Chick-fil-A a run for its money, it's Bojangles.
Bojangles.
So I dare you you got to take the Bojangles challenge.
I'll do it.
Get a chicken sandwich at Bojangles and compare it to Chick-fil-A, and I think you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
That is a damn fine chicken sandwich at the Bojangles.
I'm gonna do it. But
that really should be.
if you could
answer.
be one type of fast food,
I was gonna say, if they ask you what kind of fruit you would be, you answer a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Chick-fil-A sandwich, that would catch them off guard, unless the interview was for like Burger King or something.
I think you mean a Whopper.
Then I think you'd get in some trouble there.
You mean a McChicken?
Some hot water. So Shaun, what kind of vegetable would you pick?
What kind of vegetable would I pick? I would probably pick... See, now, but this brings up an interesting question. Do you tailor your answers to the company you're interviewing with? Would you give company A one answer and company B a different one, or do you just have a standard answer?
In this situation, I think it's kind of really hard to tailor your answer.
Well, I know on the show. I'm just saying in general.
No, I mean like in the kind of situation where you're asked which kind of fruit you would be. I think it's hard to tailor your answer towards a certain company.
Absolutely. I disagree completely.
All right. You're being hired for a job at...
Make up any company.
Hilton Hotels.
At Hilton Hotels.
You're going to be like the manager of a Hilton Hotel. How would you tailor... what fruit would you be?
Which Hilton brand?
The hotel brand.
No,
what do you mean?
They have multiple kinds of hotels. And they all target different people.
The really ritzy kind.
So like the Waldorf,
yeah, those kinds that
right.
I definitely can't afford.
The Waldorf Astoria. I would probably be microgreens. Trendy, fabulous, expensive, high-end. Distinguish our product from the competitor. Now,
that's the kind of vegetable. Now, what about the fruit?
I would be a star fruit because it looks fancy and expensive. No one ever eats it, but it looks really good sitting there on the counter, and that's really what matters. We don't want the people eating the fruit because we'll leave it in the room for the next people, and then you're going to save money that way. But damn, it looks good. It looks like, wow, Hilton really spent a lot of money on this fruit.
Now, how about for like the really shitty, like low-end hotels?
Like a Motel 8?
Fleabag, yeah, that.
That's easy. I'd be for a vegetable, I'd be a potato. It's a utility player. You can use it 1,000 ways. It fills you up. It's basic, easy to handle. You know what you're getting every time. It accomplishes the task at hand.
Now, all right, now do the fruit.
Again, I would probably go with the apple would probably be a good banana. Banana would probably be good, because it's fun for the whole family. Everyone enjoys it. It's not particularly expensive and incredibly common. You can get it almost anywhere.
Why would you want to be common, though, in an interview? Don't you want to stand out?
No, but again, it's all about the job you're interviewing for. If you're interviewing for Motel 8, their whole business model is we're everywhere and we're consistent in what we sell you. We don't say it's good. We just know it's the McDonald's value, right? We don't make the best hamburger, but we make the same hamburger, and there's always one within 500 feet.
Maybe you want to be the banana, so then you can say if you you leave the peel somewhere and somebody will fall on it. That'd be really funny.
Matt, that's a huge liability. The lawyers are not gonna. they're not gonna stand for that legally. I don't think that's a big risk.
It's a big health violation there.
I don't think we can promote the fact that we're trying to intentionally injure people for comedy.
All right. I think we exhausted the fruit topic.
Yes, we did. What's next?
And moving on. If you could have one superpower, which superpower would you have?
I actually, and I couldn't tell you for which job. I actually feel like I've been asked this one before. Nor do I remember my answer, but I do remember being asked it. And I think it's dumb. I think you get more out of the fruit question than you do out of the superpower question. If I could have any superpower. So I will just say for me personally, and not me trying to get a specific job like the exercise we just did. If I could have any superpower, which would it be? I would go with... That's a good question. I don't know, actually. To be honest, you kind of stumped me on this one, which is not what you're supposed to say in an interview. This is why I don't like these questions, because in interviews, I overthink them, and then I don't have and I go...
I gotta say, I'm kind of shocked that this one is stumping you. This is one that, I don't know. I thought there was like a really like a right answer to.
No, I would say none. I don't want a superpower. Sounds complicated.
All right.
Never work. Name a time when having superpower worked out well.
Say, it looks like Shaun Jennings can't take on any sort of extensive responsibilities.
The simplest of
might
tasks.
Be too complicated. Yeah. Or he can't. I would say in this situation, the superpower you want to at least tell your prospective employer is super speed. Okay, so then you can get more work done in a smaller amount of time.
That's a bullshit answer.
You want to be like Flash, or you want to be able to fly, so that way you can get to company meetings and not have to like charge them on your credit card.
But
or whatever.
I wouldn't hire that person though, because that's such like a suck up answer.
Well, isn't that what you were looking? You said you were going to be a potato because they're available everywhere.
Well, that was me as like a marketing guy trying to no. Here's what I'm saying is that if you're going to ask these questions, I would stand by the premise that you are not looking for the answer that best applies to your business. I gave you that, but I don't think that's what these employers are looking for. I think if you're going to ask a creative question, the point is to get a creative answer. And when you answer with like really lame, answers, I think that totally defeats the purpose.
I think that you have to do whatever's going to give you the job in that situation.
But that's what I'm saying.
When it comes to an interview,
I don't think your answer is going to get the job, though.
I think it will. I think an answer like that is going to help you.
It's uninspired.
I do have what I would imagine to be the wrong answer in that situation. And I think anybody that says invisibility would immediately not get the job right off the spot.
I would agree.
Because I think that kind of means that you're sneaky and you want to sneak around people and spy on people maybe without them knowing. Mm-hmm. I think or maybe you want to like snooze at your desk and not have the boss know or whatever. And yeah, so invisibility is definitely, I would say, the wrong answer there. I think super speed, super strength, flying, you got all those bases covered with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one to relate. If you're going to relate it back to business, I don't know. I really struggle with this one because I just don't know how you come up with a good backstory where, I want to be like, who was the shit? Damn, I'm totally forgetting my superhero history. Who is the, Galactus, that's what I'm thinking of. Eater of Worlds. I want to be able to eat worlds.
And then there would be like
security. Security. Get this guy out of here. He's very unstable. He wants to eat the planet. Crazy guy.
Unless you wanted to say you would eat up the entire competition.
I don't know about that. I want to. No, you know what the worst answer would be is I want to have Batman's superpowers.
Because he doesn't have any.
Exactly. I just want to be rich and have a lot of gadgets.
Yeah.
That's a very capitalist answer. I don't need superpowers if I'm wealthy and successful.
That's true. But I think the employer would also say that you have to work hard for the opportunity to get all of that money.
And Bruce Wayne did work hard. His parents were murdered. That was hard.
That's right. Yeah, he has no parents.
Come on. It's not like he just found it. I mean, he had to go through the whole murdering the parents thing to get rich.
So, sort of off topic. Speaking of Batman, though, there's a new Batman game that just came out recently by the Telltale Studios,
yep.
And I was watching someone play it online earlier, and the thought just crossed my mind randomly that Batman has almost become like a blank canvas for people to just kind of like print their own image on. Like, you have the Nolan Batman series, you have the Burton Batman series, you have the TV show from the 60s Batman series, you have the animated series, you have the video game series, and they're all different. And they tell like the same story, but with extreme modifications that like basically imprint the artist onto the canvas.
Matt, are you ready to have your mind blown? That's
yes.
what all comic books do.
No.
If there's a comic book older than 20 years, I guarantee that Superman, X-Men, the Fantastic Four, you name it, that is what they do. Is they bring in new writers and new artists.
But has anyone, with the exception of maybe Superman, has any one of them been as extensively like changed over the years?
Spider-Man.
Even Superman hasn't been that changed. Like, he's essentially the same Superman.
Well, and I don't want to be that guy, but I don't know. Do you follow Superman very closely? No. In the comic books, he has gone through a lot of changes, like a lot. It's just that nobody pays attention. In the movies, he's pretty much stayed the same. You're right. He's gone through a lot of changes. Same with Spider-Man. Spider-Man has gone through they just had their Spider-Verse thing where they had all the different Spider-Men meet each other from all the different versions of Spider-Man.
Comic
books.
There
were so many.
The hell out of me.
So yeah, it's very weird. But that's what these comic books are. Now the newer ones, obviously, they haven't had the time to do that. But if it's been around long enough, I just finished reading the what was the specific name of the book? It was a book on the history of Marvel Comics. Which was a very interesting book. I forget the name. You can probably just look on Marvel Comics on Amazon and find it. But that's exactly what they do, is that either the artist/writer, which can be one or two separate people, either get bored writing the comic and decide they want to move on to something else, or it stops selling and they fire them and bring in someone new. Either way, the whole point of the comic industry is to bring in a new artist and a new writer to put their own imprint on the character and the art. And that's why a lot of comic book fans, when they look at the history of comics, they won't say X-Men from the 90s or issues whatever. They'll say when blank was the artist, right? They'll say, Stan Kirby's Fantastic Four. And you know exactly what the style and the writing was because that's who did it at the time.
I guess it's pretty much been like that in the comic book world since comics were born. But I guess movies are just that, but on a larger, more
now it's more diverse. Games, as you pointed out, a much more diverse media landscape. Animated series has become a huge way. I mean, and these characters can be radically different between these different mediums. So that's a brand new phenomenon that they have to kind of level out. It's Marvel versus DC takes very different approaches to this, right? Where Marvel says, look, for the most part, we're going to be our continuity is going to be very solid. What happens in the movies is the same thing that happens in the TV shows, is the same thing that happens in the comic books. DC has taken a very different approach where they say, look, our TV universe is one thing. Our movie universe is a different thing. They're going to have two different actors playing two different Flashes, one in the movies, one in the TV series. Marvel would never do that, but that's the route they've taken. Same with the animated series. So, it's different approaches, but you're right. They kind of have to come to a decision on how they want to handle all this different multimedia. Do we tell the same stories across multiple platforms, or do we use each platform to tell a different story?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's just a random thought that crossed my mind.
No,
like
Batman
is kind of like he's kind of like like an artist's brush, or I guess like a canvas where like different the Burton Batman
well,
and
directors do the same thing. You're absolutely right.
The Nolan Batman are very different. Like
the Joel Schumacher Batman.
Yes, of course, the Schumacher Batman,
America's favorite. And God forbid the Zack Snyder Batman. So yeah, it's like that in movies as well. Anytime you have a franchise that spans that long, it's very hard to keep a consistent tone and voice because people come and go. So everyone wants to put their own stamp on it. It's like that for James Bond. It's the same way, right?
Yeah, that's
changes with the time, changes with the director, changes with the actor. So
yeah, very cool.
I think the takeaway is that everything around you will always be changing, and you can't do anything about it. So
yeah, that's entropy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Indeed. What were we talking about?
This may be in the Hall of Fame for most random episode we've had between Phil's bad internet connection and this discussion and.
I would like to have Phil on again, though. I'm very disappointed that he was not able to continue this discussion.
It was very disappointing.
I would have liked to have heard his theory for the superpower question.
I think, and I want. Yes, I agree. We will do that. What's the next? What's the next question? Because I think we've got time for one more.
Good, because this one's a doozy.
Oh, geez. Okay.
All right, Shaun, ready for this one? Get ready. If you could fight either a duck-sized horse.
You are not asking me this question.
You know where I'm going with this.
Oh, jeez.
It's a duck-sized horse or 100. Did I screw that up?
Yeah, you did. One
screwed it up.
horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses.
Duck-sized horses.
A lot of small horses or one giant duck.
Yep.
So, first of all, did you find any evidence at all that someone has actually asked this question in an actual job interview?
Yes. According to Forbes.com, this question was asked by, I'm on the wrong site. It was asked by, I think it was Google.
Oh, jeez.
I think it was a Google.
Oh, that's a stupid question.
It was one of those tech startup people that asked this question. But yeah. Yeah, here it is. This was a question.
And by the way, I will just point out there is one correct answer to this.
Is there?
Oh yeah, I mean,
this was asked at Whole Foods. Oddly enough.
What to be a cashier at Whole Foods? You got to answer. What are you gonna? A big duck, small horses? What are you gonna?
This made number 2 of actually Glassdoor, not Forbes. This was Glassdoor's oddball interview question.
Oh God. That's so stupid. All right, Matt. Yes, would you like to get the answer to this one?
Yeah, let's hear your correct answer.
Oh, the correct answer is the 100 small horses.
100 small horses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Unequivocally. For several reasons. There's not even one reason. There's several reasons, okay? One, you can outrun something with very small legs versus a big thing with big legs. Okay? I think that's pretty straightforward. 2, I believe ducks can, relative to size, be more violent than horses. Horses don't have a lot of weapons. At best, they could bite you, but they're going to be so small that I'm not particularly worried about that. Whereas if you've ever been near ducks, they will run after you. Horses, I don't think, run after you.
Horses don't run?
No, but they don't like chase you. They're not like, they're more timid than ducks is what I'm saying. A duck will like follow you and attack you as you run away. A horse, I don't believe, will do that.
Have you ever seen when they have those contests in Spain where like the people jump out into the stadium pit?
Those are bulls.
It's a horse that has the horns on it. No, it's a horse with horns, and it charges at people. You never seen those contests?
Matt, seriously, I'm starting to get worried. You might have some kind of like,
look them up.
Some kind of problem. You're not okay in the head.
Zone.
Horned horses. You're like those football players that get hit in the head one too many times. Someone get Goodell on the phone. No, honestly, I don't. 100. And you can kick a duck-sized horse, by the way, in the if you needed to get them away. How do you defend yourself?
I can see that.
Against a horse-sized duck. What you can do? Push it. A horse-sized horse you can't defend yourself from. Really?
Again, this is up for debate.
Okay, so I'm debate the other side.
I'm going to take the other side. I'm going to say I want to fight the horse-sized duck because the horse-sized duck, even though it's enormous and bigger than you are, there's only one of them. Okay, so you can outrun it. You can tire it out, just similar to what the horned horse fighters in Spain do. They tire out the horse with horns until it gets really tired, and then they just run up and stick a sword in it. So that's basically what I would try to outrun it as best I can until it gets tired. The horse-sized duck gets tired, and then you go up and you finish it off.
And I'd give you that piece of the argument, the 1 versus 100, I think is fair. And I do think 100 is an excessive number. I think, I would pick it. I don't think it would be easy. I think it would be incredibly difficult, actually. If it were like 10-1 or like 20-1, then it's like, all right, I'm going to destroy the horses. They really don't have a shot. 100 is an awfully large number. But, again, is the premise that regardless of side, I am being attacked? Like from the get-go?
Yeah, this is a fight.
So it's definitely a fight. It's not like I just stumble upon these things and they might fight me, they might not. They're definitely after me.
You have to defeat either 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck.
Also, ducks can fly. What is a horse going to do? It's on the ground. You just climb up a tree. Or on anything taller than a duck's height.
I feel like
jump.
That's a point for me, though, for my argument, because the 100 duck-sized horses, though they can't fly, they can stampede.
But they're so small. Unless you're like out laying on the ground, I mean, just get in a car.
I feel like it would be a better question if instead of a horse they did something that bites. I mean, horses can bite, but like sharks or something.
Well, something with claws or some kind of like natural weapon of sorts, like alligators. I don't know. Like those
little dinosaurs from Jurassic Park, from the Lost World.
Oh yeah, no, that would be very. I might pick the duck in that case, but a horse is a bad attack animal, especially when it's so small. Again, all you have to do is just get to a place where Could you imagine a horse-sized duck flying and following you around? You can't escape it. It can fly.
Well, you're not trying to escape it. You're in I'm assuming you're in some kind of like battle arena.
What, you think I'm going to punch it? Like what?
You can hop on the horse-sized duck and ride it around and tame it. And then, then they have to hire you at the company because if you tame the horse-sized duck, you're basically hurt.
Matt, I think you just picked the best answer to this question. You say, I would choose that, and I would tame it and turn it into my transportation. Yeah.
I think we found the answer to this one.
That's a really good answer.
Horse-sized duck would benefit most companies, I feel like.
Yeah. Just think you could use it to increase productivity in the workplace.
You can
What
put
are
it
you
in.
going to do with a bunch of small horses? Nothing.
That's right.
They're
That's
useless.
it. I think that's the answer right there. Of course, there are some answers on Glassdoor.com. They have like a little forum where people actually answered these questions.
I have a feeling all these
Like,
people should have been doing their jobs instead of answering these questions, but okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to give you the top three based on votes that people gave. Basically, okay. So this one says I would take my chances with a horse-sized duck. It would be a one-on-one fight. Although it's large, you have more control over what one opponent does rather than over 100.
Yeah.
Next person says 100 duck-sized horses are very small. I would just be able to step on them. In fact, I could take out more than one at a time. So I would go with 100 duck-sized horses. And would you like to know the best answer?
Yes.
Voted overwhelmingly the best answer, according to this site.
Mm-hmm.
Neither. We don't condone violence at Whole Foods.
Hey! Holy shit! And one of these actually have the right answer.
People overwhelmingly felt that was the best answer.
I would not hire
I
that
would fight
person.
either of them.
Although for Whole Foods, that's a pretty good answer.
Yeah.
For my company, no. That indicates to me that you are a wimp who cannot make decisions.
I don't know. I like the taming of the horse-sized duck.
I think that's the best answer.
Myself. I think that's pretty good.
I just think 100 duck-sized horses would be really easy to escape, frankly. I mean, I agree that the premise is, you're supposed to fight them. Just get in a car or stand on a ledge above them. Like, they cannot climb and they can barely jump.
Well, I mean, the question's asking you which one would you rather fight, not which one would you rather evade.
Evading is a fighting strategy, Matt. I know because I've done that in fights, and it kind of works.
It works every time. Play rope-a-dope.
Rope-a-dope with those 100 duck-sized horses. Well, Matt, we are out of time for what has obviously been a very strange episode.
Glad I was a part of it.
Well, yes, this is.
Glad Phil was sort of a part of it for a little bit.
This is why we don't have guests. Big thanks to Phil, who asked that we plug how terrible Comcast is at the end of the episode as his plug.
God damn it, Tom.
They are just the worst, and shame on them for ruining everything. And we'll have him. We'll find a reason to have him back on. I promise. We have to do. At some point, we're almost done with 2016.
We're almost done with 2016.
Well, it feels that way. I mean, we're more than halfway through, right?
Yeah, I guess by the according to the Julian calendar.
Do you not use that one? Matt, are you using a different calendar? And you didn't tell me about that?
I'm pretty sure we're in the year 8085, right?
Honestly, you could tell me that, and I'd believe. What do I know, right? No, what I was gonna say is, so last year, in 2015, we did a trivia episode, and I titled it "Trivia Smackdown 2015."
Whoa! So I see where you're going with
So you know what that means? We
haven't had a trivia 8085 yet.
No, and I think Phil might be a fun contestant to put you up against, Matt, because you lost last time, right?
Allegedly.
I believe so. Are you up for? We're not doing this next week, by the way, because I'm not prepped. But what I'm saying is, at some point this year,
at some point in the near future, I would totally be down.
All right, good.
Trivia Smackdown, unless of course you wanted to be a part of the Trivia Smackdown. But although I know that it's your lifelong dream is to host a game.
But
show.
I did it last year, so maybe this year could be your year.
Could be.
And it would save me the trouble of having to come up with trivia questions. So,
it's really up to you.
Well, we'll talk about it, but maybe we'll do that. But yes, we will definitely have Phil on for sure. For sure, I promise. But if you want to listen to the other good episodes instead of this one, you can go to our website, upfordebate.tv. All the Past episodes, audio, video, all available there on the site, archived for your enjoyment. You can also click the subscribe button, which gives you links to all the places you can find the show. Matt, do you remember all of them? I say it every week.
Absolutely not. I don't even remember what I had for breakfast.
Oh my God! Would you like to hear what they are?
Absolutely.
All right,
I always use a refresher.
Write this down: iTunes, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, YouTube, most major podcast apps, via RSS. We're also on Twitter at Up for Debate TV, Facebook.com/Up for Debate TV, where we do the show live Thursday nights, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, and via email upfordebatetv@gmail.com.
And sometimes we play Dungeons and Dragons.
And on game nights.tv, we play Dungeons and Dragons. And on panic.io, we talk about technology. So, there's just enough room on the internet for all this. So the good news is we'll be back next week with another episode, topic TBD, but you'll have to tune in and find out, like I said, live Thursday nights. So check that out, Matt. Anything else before we wrap it up?
Just to quickly sign off, me and a couple of the other managers were talking, and sorry, you don't really fit the ideal profile of a cloud engineer here at Cloud Industries. So we went with the other guy, the one that
disappeared 2 minutes into the interview.
We went with the Comcast guy. He fits the cloud profile better. So.
Well, you know what I think?
Sorry, but you know what? Best of luck in the future to you, and hopefully our paths cross again.
Well, you know what I think? I think clouds suck. And then I flip the table, and I go, I'm out of here.
Wow.
I'm burning this bridge.
Way to take the high road.
Yeah, well, you know me. I'm Mr. Mature Guy. All right, well, on that very mature note, thanks everybody for joining us. On behalf of Matt, I'm Shaun, thanking you as always, and hoping you come back next time for even more exciting discussions here on Up for Debate.